from Studio 3 at Buzz TV. It's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Welcome back to another episode of The Horse's Mouth Movers and Shakers, where we highlight those who are moving and shaking today in St. Augustine. I'm Morgan Allen, joined by my co-host David Ramos, who is the franchise owner with Stretch Lab First Coast. Thank you for being here.
Hi, welcome to our studio. It's great to be back on with you.
Yes, it's beautiful to be in. This is our third studio of yours that I've been in. We did the Atlantic Beach location. We did the Ponte Vedra location, and now St. Augustine, equally beautiful. Still smells really good. They all smell good. And we have a special guest today. We have Brenda Leeper with National Associations of Veterans and Families. Yes. Brenda, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here. Hi, David.
So Brenda, will you tell me a little bit about how you guys got started?
Yes. So the National Association of Veterans and Families, we concentrate on one veterans benefit. It's for seniors. It's called aid and attendance. Most people have never, ever heard of aid attendance, especially veterans. When I do a seminar and you ask the crowd if they've ever heard of it, nobody's ever heard of it. The VA's not telling them. As soon as they hit 65, they may qualify for the benefit. The benefit is for home health care, assisted living or memory care, sometimes nursing home care as well. It's a big benefit. Right now I have my cheat sheet. Right now for a veteran and spouse, it is $2,874 a month. Wow. That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So our mission is twofold at NAVF. The first one is to let people know about it. People don't know, so we do a lot of public speaking engagements, a lot of things like that, just to get the word out. The other thing is to help them get the benefit, right? It doesn't do enough to just tell them about it. We want to help them get the benefit. So our founder, Joe Sosona, who unfortunately just recently passed away from a short illness in January, he wanted to do things right because I always say Joe does everything straight and up. So the straight way, you follow the VA rules, right? No problem there. You don't have a choice, really. But he wanted to go up. So what he did was he went to Ron Abrams. And you're like, who's Ron Abrams? Ron Abrams, the man who wrote the regs on the aid and attendance benefit. He wrote the regulation manual. So Joe said, okay, I found him. He went up to DC, hired the man to train him on the ins and outs of the benefit so that he understood it. But then, because Joe did everything up farther, he hired Ron Abrams to come down here to the Jacksonville area 3 years in a row to train our agents and to train some of the VA accredited attorneys. Wow. So that's how we got started by doing that.
Above and beyond.
Yes.
I love that.
And so I like to brag on our company a lot. Because of that, we know a lot of things that other companies who do what we do don't know. So we're able to go a little bit farther with what we can do. There are income and asset limits to the benefit. However, because Joe did what Joe did, we can actually help somebody if they have higher assets than what looks like they should have. There are things that can be done.
Okay.
Yeah. So we invite anybody, no matter what your asset level, your income level is, go ahead and come, fill out the form, see if we can help you, we'll tell you. If we can't, we won't.
What type of qualifications are needed for a veteran to be able to receive this?
Absolutely. So the first qualification has to be over the age of 65. It's also for spouses. It's one of the few benefits that is for a spouse as well. So they can be a widower. So they have to be over 65. They have to need care. This is not something you can pre-plan for. You actually have to be paying for care in order to get the benefit. So
this is a reimbursement, right?
It is not technically, but yes, it is a reimbursement program. It works kind of like that. So you have to be paying out for care in order to get money from the VA. The money that they get from the VA goes into their checking account to spend however they want.
Wow.
Most of the time it's used on more care because you always need more care. It always costs more, right? So it helps out a great deal that way. You have to need the care. You have to have been a wartime veteran. So that's one of the main criterias. We let them know right away whether they are or not. We have to look at their DD-214, which is a discharge paper. And we examine it carefully to make sure they're going to qualify. So at the beginning of our process, we send them what we call an intake form to fill out. Fill that out, send us your DD-214, just a copy. and it goes into review. We make sure they're going to qualify. We're not going to bother people with gathering all this information if they're not going to qualify.
Yeah.
Does us no good, does them no good. If for some reason they will not qualify, we'll let them know, and we let them know why, so that they understand. If they're going to qualify, we can move on from there. So it's pretty easy. The easiest way for somebody to come in is through our website, which is NAVF.org. So National Association Veterans Families.org. That's the easiest way to come in. There's a button that says get started. You hit the button, you fill out the form, it comes right in. We can go from there. That's the quickest way. You can also call 904-394-3908 and come in that way. That's a little bit longer of a process because somebody has to answer the phone. They have to get your information. You have to go through it that way. It takes longer. If you come in through the website, it's just faster.
Beautiful.
Either way works. But
And if you're helping a loved one, parent, like my father's a Vietnam vet,
yes.
so he's of that age. He was wartime.
Yeah.
How is that something that I could help him with?
Absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of times we work with the adult children. A lot of our veterans have dementia issues. They can't help any longer. So, yeah, absolutely. A lot of times we work with family members, friends, neighbors. Yeah, anybody that will help. Social workers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah.
And I know the transition from military life to civilian life is one of the toughest transitions our military members have to go through.
Yes.
So from that transition, how do they find you without knowing, because they don't have these resources most of the time?
That's right. So word of mouth is our biggest resource. We do not have dollars to go out there and do commercials.
Yeah.
We just don't have it. So it's word of mouth. Once somebody goes through it and they find out they got all this money, and it was not that difficult, because we try to jump through the government hoops for them so they don't have to, right? So we do the hard part. They never have to fill out the application, which can be over 40 pages long. It's really difficult. If you fill it out wrong in one tiny little area, you get denied. You may know why, you may not know why, and you have to start all over again.
And how long is the process?
That is a good question. It depends. That's one of our famous saying. It depends. It depends on how quickly you get the information together that we need. It depends on how quickly the VA works. So once the application is submitted, it is out of our hands. We have no say over how long it takes. Right now, for the veteran, though, it's taking around 2 months, which is actually a really big improvement. When I first started 5 years ago, it was 6 months. So it's really, really gotten better. The spouses take a little longer, usually a month or two longer. So, yeah. So the National Association is a nonprofit organization, and we run strictly on donations.
Okay.
That's how we operate.
That's amazing. And this is a one-time cash grant that you're giving to the
No,
veterans?
it's not really a grant.
Okay.
It's a
you mentioned reimbursement, so I was...
Yeah, no, it falls under retirement, actually, pension, which is kind of strange. So if you're trying to apply for it on your own, you're going to say, do I want compensation? Do I want pension? Nobody thinks it's pension because that doesn't make sense for healthcare. But it is pension. So if you check the wrong box, you're denied immediately. So we help because we know how to navigate these things. It's all we do. This is the only benefit we do.
And I know PTSD is one of the biggest issues.
It is.
What are some of the other issues that these veterans are facing that they need this?
Yeah, David and I were talking earlier, with Vietnam vets, we're seeing a lot of dementia. About 70% of the vets that we get are dementia related. And they're young, they're not old. Some of them aren't even, 75, 80. They're young as far as seniors go.
A lot more life to live and a lot of help needed.
Yes.
That a lot of times the VA isn't always there for our veterans. It's a common issue. Yeah. So that's fantastic that you guys are doing this. Thank you.
You're very welcome
for doing this.
We're so excited. We love doing what we do. We love our veterans. We get to serve America's oldest heroes.
Yes.
And we don't want them to be forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. And their family.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Their families, especially. Yeah. We love helping the families. Lots of stories. Helped lots of homeless vets. We had a veteran father and son. The son was 82. Dad's 102. The son is still working to keep his father in a facility because he couldn't physically take care of him himself. They found out about the benefit. They were so excited. The dad said, oh my goodness, my son can retire now. The son's like, I can retire now. Everybody was extremely happy.
Wow.
But on the sad side, he said, "You mean I could have been getting this benefit for like 20 years?" It's like, yeah.
Oh,
He
my
just didn't
goodness.
know.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Well, you heard it here. If you know someone, everybody does, you need to
Yes.
share this interview so that
right.
more people can find out
Yeah.
about this organization. Brenda, thank
Yeah.
you for coming on the show.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
David, thank you
Thanks.
for co-hosting
you.
as well.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Yes, and viewers, we appreciate you for tuning in to another episode. If you want more information, you can find it right underneath this interview. You'll find her website and many other profiles. And we'll see you in the next episode of The Horse's Mouth Movers and Shakers.